Hare Krishna, Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Kunja Vihari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radhe Shyam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Vastai Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunivadi Pasyatare Satarne. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gauravata Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, continuing on, reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 1, Chapter 6. Let's get into it. Translation. Let's read the verse again because, let's get it. Let's see what it's all about. Oh, yeah. Translation. What is this? Text 21. Okay. O Narada, the Lord spoke, I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material taints can hardly see me. Purport. The personality of Godhead is described in the Bhagavad-Gita as the most pure, the supreme, the absolute truth. That's God. He's the most pure. He's the supreme. He's the absolute truth. Where does life come from? Where does existence come from? It comes from God, Krishna, the absolute truth. Okay. There's no trace of a tinge of materiality in his person. There's no materiality at all in Krishna. And thus one who has the slightest tinge of material affection cannot approach him. Oh, if you're materially contaminated, you can't really approach God. The beginning of devotional service starts from the point when one is freed from at least two forms of material modes, namely the mode of passion and the mode of ignorance. So devotional service doesn't even start until you're freed from passion and ignorance. Ooh. So how do you get free from that? chanting Hare Krishna, reading, studying the Bhagavatam, associating with Krishna. Okay, the deity. It's the 5 angas of devotional service. It's like you associate with the deity, you associate with devotees, you associate with the Bhagavatam that I'm reading, you associate with the holy Dham, and you associate with the holy name. So that's your 5 angas of devotional service. You just got to focus on these 5 main things, and you can purify your existence. Focus on those 5 main things. Okay, so the result is exhibited by the signs of being freed from calm, lust, and lobe, covetousness, covetousness. Okay. So are you are you free from lust yet? Are you free from lust? Are you coveting people's property? Like, do you want what other people have? That's covetousness. Covetousness. I don't know. I got to learn how to pronounce that word. So like covetousness, like you covet other people's property, like you want what other people have, like you're envious, you're jealous. Again, you got to be free from lust. Okay. So either you control your mind or your mind controls you. It's simple as that. Like if you're lusty and your lust is like telling you to do things, well, you're controlled by lust. But if you can control your mind and be like, no, lust, no, thank you. I'm going to do this. Like your lusty mind might want you to like commit some kind of sin. But if you control your mind, be like, nope, I'm not going to do that sin. I'm going to just chant Hare Krishna instead. I'm going to keep myself pure. So you got to control your mind. That is to say, one must be freed from the desire for sense satisfaction and avarice for sense gratification. Sense gratification. That's what everybody's hankering after. Like everyone is just like chasing after a sense gratification through like the material senses. People want to enjoy their eyes, so they go and they watch they scroll on their phone so they could enjoy their eyes and their ears and their senses. Okay, that's called sense gratification. If you're using your phone and you're scrolling on social media to entertain yourself and watch all these videos that have nothing to do with Krishna consciousness, that's called sense gratification. Okay, if you're chasing after delicious food so you can enjoy your senses, sense gratification. You're chasing after sex so you can enjoy your senses, sense gratification. Okay, but everything can be purified. So instead of watching like videos about whatever, you can watch videos about Krishna. Instead of listening to mundane music, you can listen to music about Krishna. But I'm also a musician, so I'm not saying that that's all I do is listen to Hare Krishna music every day, because I don't. But I'm just saying that that's the process for purifying yourself. I'm just being honest. Some people will lie. I'm being straight up. Okay. I mean, I like, because I'm still like I'm not a monk anymore, so I don't do all like, even though I kind of look like a monk still because my head's shaved. But like I don't live in a temple, so yeah. Anyways, it's not about me, it's about you. Spiritualize your life. Okay. The balanced mode of nature is goodness, and to be completely freed from all material tinges is to become free from the mode of goodness also. So yeah, you got to rise above all the modes. You got to become transcendental. Like being in the mode of goodness is not the ultimate goal. Being like beyond the modes. To search the audience of God in a lonely forest is considered to be in the mode of goodness. Okay, there you go. If you want to be in the mode of goodness, go to the forest and worship God. One can go into the forest. One can go out into the forest to attain spiritual perfection, but that does not mean that one can see the Lord personally there. One must be completely freed from all material attachment and be situated on the plane of transcendence, which alone will help the devotee get in personal touch with the personality of Godhead. So, if you actually want to meet like God face to face, Krishna face to face, you have to be completely freed from all material attachment. Right? You're not attached to anything material. So that's the only way you're going to be able to meet God face to face. So how do you get over that material attachment? Hearing and chanting Hare Krishna, studying the Bhagavatam, the 5 main angas of devotional service, like we went over. Okay. The best method is that one should live in a place where the transcendental form of the Lord is worshipped. The temple of the Lord is a transcendental place whereas the forest is materially good habitation. Yeah, like I have deities in my house right now. Like right in front of me, I can see my deities. So I don't need to go to the forest because I have the form of my Lord entered into my house. I got my deities, I have my pictures of Krishna right in front of me. I got my Govardhan Shilas right in front of me. Okay. So the temple of the Lord is a transcendental place whereas the forest is materially good habitation. There you go. So the forest is like in the mode of goodness, but like being in a temple or having your own deities from home. That's what you want to do. You want to worship God from home. Worship God for everywhere. Like I have my deities in front of me right now. Govardhan Shila. I have Gordon Tai deities. I have pictures of Radhe Shyam right in front of me. I'm looking at it right now. Okay. I'm looking at the Lord. Where am I? A neophyte devotee. A neophyte devotee is always recommended to worship the deity of the Lord, Archana, rather than go into the forest to search out the Lord. Okay, it's recommended that you just worship the deity in the temple and at home. Devotional service begins from the process of archana, which is better than going out in the forest. In his present life, which is completely freed from material hankerings, Sri Narada does not go into the forest, although he can turn every place into Vaikuntha by his presence only. He travels from one planet to another to convert men, gods, Kanaras, Gandharvas, Rishis, Munis, and all others to become devotees of the Lord. By his activities, he has engaged many devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and many others in the transcendental service of the Lord. A pure devotee of the Lord, therefore, follows in the footsteps of great devotees like Narada, Prahlad, and engages his whole time in glorifying the Lord by the process of kirtan. Such a preaching process is transcendental to all material qualities. So if you want to be transcendental, then spend all your time in the process of kirtan. That can be public chanting and dancing. That could be kirtan with chanting the holy names. That could be even reading about Krishna, like I'm doing right now. That's kirtan as well. Prabhupada used to always say. So that's how you become transcendental. You just engage in these hearing, the activities. Hearing and chanting is the main thing. Hearing, chanting, hearing, chanting. That's it. Text 22. Sakradyad darshitam rupam. Hearing and chanting means you're hearing, people, you're hearing Bhagavatam, you're hearing kirtan, you're hearing the music, the spiritual music, and you're chanting, obviously, you're chanting Hare Krishna, or you're chanting, you're reading from the scriptures. That's hearing and chanting. Those are the two main things that you should focus on, really. Sakradyad darshitam rupam etat kamaya te naga mat kama shanakai sadhu sarvan muchati rich chayan. Sakrit only once, yat that, darshitam shown, rupam form, eat. This is kamaya for hankerings. Te your anaga. O virtuous one, mat mind, kama desire, shanakai by increasing sadhu devotee. Survan all mood shanti gives away rit sayan shayan material desires. O virtuous one, you have only once seen my person, and this is just to increase your desire for me. Because the more you hanker for me, the more you will be freed from all material desires. So if you want to be freed from material desires, focus on Krishna and God as much as possible. Okay? Like hanker for God. Like you want to see God. You want to see God more than anybody in this planet. You want to see God more than your lover. You want to see God more than your family. Like the only hanker after seeing God, associating with God and devotees. Okay. That's how you become free of all material desires. Like if you have material desires, well, focus your mind on God. Read about God, hear about Krishna. How do you become attached to Krishna? You hear about Krishna, you hear about his pastimes, you read about his pastimes more and more. A living being cannot be vacant of desires. I once met a guru like in Radhakund, and he was like, yeah, like just focus on the holy name and Krishna's pastimes. If you really want to develop that Ripalamba Bhav, that's the feeling of service and separation. Purport. A living being cannot be vacant of desires. He is not a dead stone. He must be working, thinking, feeling, and willing. But when he thinks, feels, and wills materially, he becomes entangled. And conversely, when he thinks, feels, and wills for the service of the Lord, he becomes gradually freed from all entanglement. There you go. So instead of thinking about material things, just think about Krishna. You have more than enough. You have books, you have the holy name. Focus on that. If you want to become free of material desires. If you want to rot in this material world and live in a world of birth, that's old age and disease. Okay. This world, guys, is a place of miseries. No matter what anybody has to say, the material world is a place of miseries. Birth, death, old age, and disease. Nobody wants to be born. Nobody wants to live do you want to be packed in a womb for months, be packed in this nasty womb, stuck in a womb in a little bag? No. Do you want to do you want to get disease? Do you want to get sick? Do you want to get disease? No, you don't. Nobody wants disease. Nobody wants pain. Do you want to do you want to be old? Do you want to be old age? Do you want to get old? No, nobody wants old. Nobody wants to get old. Everyone wants to be young forever. I want to be young forever. I wish I was young forever. I wish I never went past 18 or 20s, right? I wish I was young. right? Nobody wants to be old, okay? And if you do, you're crazy. And nobody wants death. Nobody wants to die. But that's what this material world is full of. That's proof that this material world is a place of miseries. And if you think it's not, you're an illusion. Um, the more a person is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, the more he acquires a hankering for it. There you go. So the more you do devotional service, the more you become, the more you get a taste for it. That's why I made it like, that's why I'm like determined to read and chant every day, because I've been kind of neglecting it. So like I haven't been giving classes for a while. So I'm gonna start doing this daily, do my best. Some days I'll miss because I'm human, but I'm gonna try to do it every day, try. The transcendental nature of godly service. That is the transcendental nature of godly service. Material service has satiation, whereas spiritual service of the Lord neither satiation nor end. Yeah, satiation. See, people are chasing after material sense gratification. Like, for example, people are chasing after delicious food, right? I like to eat pizza. Now, if I eat a pizza, am I going to be satisfied forever? No, I'm gonna only be satisfied for like an hour or like 3 hours, and then once the hunger comes back, then I'm gonna be chasing after pizza again or food again. Right? That's what people are doing. They're chasing after all these sense pleasures, but they're never satisfied. You can apply to anything. Like people are addicted to sex, right? So like people are chasing after sex that even though they've had it like thousands of times, they're still not satiated. Okay. But you can never get satiated in chanting Hare Krishna. You can never get satiated in engaging in the service of the Lord. That's the difference. Everything in this material world, there has a satiation point. Do. One can go on increasing his hankerings for the loving service of the Lord, and yet he will not find satiation or end. There's no end, guys. That's where satisfaction is, the service of the Lord, because it's never ending. Okay, it gets better and better over time. Okay, the more you chant Hare Krishna, the more taste you get for chanting Hare Krishna, the better it gets. That's why you got to be consistent. Okay, you got to be consistent, because by chanting and hearing, you're chipping away all those material desires. You're chipping away all those anartas, those unwanted habits. You're chipping away everything, and then once you chip away all the material desires, that's when you experience the bliss of chanting Hare Krishna. Okay. By intense service of the Lord, one can experience the presence of the Lord transcendentally. Therefore, seeing the Lord means being engaged in his service, because his service and his person are identical. So the service of Lord and Krishna, the Lord, and his service is identical. There's none difference. So engage in Krishna's service. Just stay in touch with Krishna as much as possible, right? That's the end of it. That's the bottom line. You can chant Hare Krishna anytime. You can associate with Krishna anytime just by chanting Hare Krishna. You can chant Hare Krishna all day, with beads, without beads, with music, without music. You can chant Hare Krishna all day. Chant Hare Krishna in your mind. I just chanted Hare Krishna in my mind right there. Okay. Therefore, seeing the Lord means being engaged in his service, because his service and his person are identical. Okay, just by seeing the Lord, you're engaged in his service. So just by looking at the pictures of Krishna, like I have pictures of Krishna in my room, I have deities. Just by looking at them, I'm engaging in their service. Just by looking at the Lord, just by going to the temple and taking darshan, you're engaging in Krishna's service. Therefore, seeing the Lord, it means being engaged in his service, because his service and his person are identical. The sincere devotee should go on with sincere service of the Lord. The Lord will give proper direction as to how and where it is to be done. There was no material desire in Narada, and yet just to increase his intense desire for the Lord, he was so advised. Okay, Jai, Hare Krishna. Finished with Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Parampara ki Jai. Yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. All right, Hare Krishna. Let's chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Gaurani Kai, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Radha Shama Sundar, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jagiri Govardhan, Jaya Yamuna Devi, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Nittai Gora Haribo, 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 Nittai Gora Haribo, Nittai Gaur Premanandi Hari Haribo, Jai Jai Shri Radhe Sham. Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna and be happy.